So once you've been able to log in, what we actually want to do right now is to file returns. You'll go under returns and then click on file return. So this is the first place where you can go if you're filing any type of return. But for this particular case, we are filing for an employee, and this is the only income that the person has. So we go under returns and then we go to ITR for employment income only. This just saves you a lot of time so that you can be able to file your returns very quickly. So on this particular page, you can be able to see, it will give you the type, which is for yourself, the taxpayer's PIN, tax obligation, and period. So under period, what you do is you just go to the date selector, and then since we are in 2020, the return is for 2019. So from 1st of January, and then it will automatically show that it's up to 31st of December of last year. Do you have employment income? This is for employment income. You say yes, and then click next. So it will actually load all you need to do. So in the first section, there are a number of sections. In the first section, it just gives you the PIN, period, from just what we had seen on the previous page. And then all you need to do is just fill in if there are any other things here. So the first question it asks is, has your employer provided you with a car? And for this particular one, it's no. Do you have a home ownership savings plan? No. Do you earn any income from a foreign country? No. Do you have a mortgage? No. Do you have a life insurance policy? No as well. Then the next place is now to fill in your bank account if it asks for that, but for this one it's actually blurred out, so we just go next. Then the next thing that you need to do is look at, it tells you all the things that are there. So because you're doing employment income only, all it will just tell you is this is the amount that has already been filed. So you check on your P9 form if the amounts here correspond. So that's what I'm doing now. So the amounts that are there are the same. All I just need to do here is go to next. Then on the next section, it now asks details of payee deducted at source from salary. So now all I need to do is PIN of employer. I just need to look at taxable salary. On your PIN, you can actually be able to see taxable salary, which is on column H. And at the very bottom, all I just need to do is check if the amount that is on the P9 form corresponds to this. And for this particular case, it does. And then on column J for payee tax charged, I just check here the amount corresponds, and it corresponds the same here. Then the next is amount of tax deducted. On the P9 form, it shows the exact amount that it shows here. Then the amount of tax payable or refundable, it shows the same amount. Then all we do is go next. Then details of income paid in advance. For employed people, this does not apply. So all you just do is say next. So on this last page, it just shows you all the details that you have been filling. So the first thing is defined or pension contribution. That's what you need to fill in, and then personal relief. So personal relief on this form is shown as 16,896, which you now fill in. Then you come at the very bottom, you can be able to see the amount it shows that you need to pay. But under defined or pension contribution, I can come here and now check how much was contributed under pension and input that amount. That's the amount contributed under pension. What you are filling in on section T is what you've contributed as pension, because that's what you now need to input. That's why you need the P9 form. And then the personal relief. And then at the very bottom, it will show you tax due or tax refund due, which is very little in this particular case, 12 shillings. This means that all the taxes have already been filed. So all I do is just click on submit, click on OK, and we are done. So all you need to do now is download the returns receipt, which will now show you all your taxes, what you have done, everything that you have done. You will get an email as well of the same. So if you are employed, it is just that simple. You can be able to check all the things that you've done. Everything is now complete. You have your e-return acknowledgement receipt. The next thing that you can actually do once you get this receipt is to go under certificates and apply for a tax compliance certificate. This is really important every year for you to do it, because sometimes KRA has an issue reconciling returns, so you actually need a tax compliance certificate to prove that you filed your taxes first of all and you have no issues with them. At the top it says, please be informed that you're entitled for the tax compliance certificate without any workflow. Click OK to continue. I've clicked OK. Then the reason for application, you just say, have already filed tax returns for 2019 and need a TCC, which is the tax compliance certificate. Then you click on submit. Once you have done this, all that will happen is you already get your tax compliance certificate. So I'll click on it, and once I've done that, it will actually show me the tax compliance certificate. This is to confirm that you, personal identification number already set, has filed relevant tax returns and paid tax due as provided by law. So the TCC is really important, especially when you want to apply for new jobs. If you have a company as well, this may be required if you're director there, that you have filed your returns. Sometimes when you're applying for tenders, this may be asked for as well. So if you are an employed person, that is the process. The second way of filing your returns is to go under File Return. Once you are here, you can be able to now select your tax obligation. You're a resident. If you're a landlord, then you'll actually go under rent income, but for a resident, that's where you'll go. It will give you an option. Yeah. So the type of return is original. Return period is as seen. Then you say you agree to the terms. So the first step to follow here is click on one of the links below to download the return form. Fill the Excel or ODS return form. Provide the details requested. Upload the Excel return form using the browse button. So there are two ways, either use Excel or ODS. So in this case, I'll actually use Excel. So when you click on the Excel, what will happen is it will download an Excel form in zip format. So I'll show you exactly what you need to do in order to file your returns this way. So it will download a zip file, and then I'll need to unzip it, and then we can now file the return itself. So once we've opened the Excel file, then we can be able to now file the return. All I just need to do is say enable content. It will now show all the things that you need to do. You cannot copy paste here. All you need to do now is input all the details one by one. So the first thing is here, I will now input the PIN, since I know my PIN by heart. Original, then I come here and say 01/01/2019. End date here will be 31/12/2019. Then do you have any other income other than employment income? No. Do you have partnership income? No. If you do, you put yes. So once you do this, it will actually show you all those other places. So here I say, do you have a mortgage? I say here yes, because I do have a mortgage. All the other things, no. Do you want to declare wife's income? No. Then at the very bottom, you can now be able to go to the next page. So under next here, now you'll input PIN of employer, which is on your P9 form. So it usually starts with a P. Just come in and put the P9 of the employer, then name of employer. So you put the same name that is shown on the form. Then gross pay, allowances and benefits from employment other than car. Here it's 0. Net value of housing. So here, just to be able to see clearly. So here, pension if in excess of 300,000, column E, net value of housing. So once you fill that in, you can be able to see on the very end what it shows. Then you click on next. So computation of mortgage interest. So the PIN of the lender, you input again the number, then the name of the lender, whoever lent you the mortgage. So if you don't have a mortgage, this particular page will not show, okay? Then the mortgage number, amount borrowed, outstanding at the end of the year, amount of interest paid. So you'll input this all as well. Then you go next, details of pay deducted from source, from salary. So that will, the PIN of the employer. Then you input the name as well. Taxable salary is shown on column H for this one, 638. Then tax payable shows here under tax charged, how much tax I paid the government, and I feel like I'm paying a lot of tax. And then the amount that was actually deducted. Then next, details of income tax paid in advance by yourself. This usually doesn't happen, so I just put 0. Then pension contribution, done. Then the next thing is to fill in the personal relief. Then withholding tax that had been paid by anyone. Then now the next thing is now tax due refund to yourself. So after this, all you'll just do is click on validate. So once you click on validate, it will actually create another file, which now this zip file that it does will be what you now use at the other end when you're now filing the return. So you will not be sending the Excel format. Once you click on validate, it will create another zip file which you'll find in the same downloads folder. So the next thing you'll come and do is back on the KRA website, you'll come to choose file. Once you've clicked on choose file, you can be able to upload that particular file back on the site. So all you'll just do is come click on the file. Once you've clicked on it, click on open. And then once you've clicked on open, you click on submit. That will now take you to the next step. So that is how to be able to file your returns using the old method. Once you have actually done it, you will get the acknowledgement number similar to the way we got it in the first one. And then you can also apply for a TCC as well. In this section, I will show you how you can be able to file nil returns. Now, nil returns are really peculiar. If you have no business that was transacted in the previous year, then you are allowed to file for nil returns. Or if you are an individual and you did not earn any income in the last 12 months, these are the only times that you are allowed to file for nil returns. Remember, do not try to lie to KRA. They will know. So once you log in, you can go under returns and then go to file nil return. So in this section, tax obligation, you input the tax obligation. If you're an individual, it will actually show resident individual. Then the period should show from first of the year to the end of the year. Click on submit. Then at the top, it will ask you, dear taxpayer, filing of nil returns is only applicable in cases where you have no transactions to declare for the period. Are you sure you want to file nil returns? So if you're a student, of course you're sure here. All you just need to do is click on OK, and then it will download your returns receipt. Your returns receipt will actually show 0 on all the places. The next thing that you now need to do is go under certificates and apply for a tax compliance certificate. All you're doing here is just showing that you filed your returns for the year. So you just say filed 2019 tax returns and need TCC. Click on submit and you're done. So that is just that simple. because there is not much that is happening, you'll get your tax compliance certificate as well and keep that safe. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment down below if there are any other type of tax returns that you'd like for me to go through. There are other videos that you should watch which I have placed on this side at the top, and the bottom one is the one that YouTube thinks you should watch next. See you in the next video.